What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Truth Addiction. This is the channel that deals with the disease of addiction and all the ways it manifests itself. I am a recovering addict. My name is Brian. Friends and family know me as Wawa Brian. Keep coming around this channel and maybe we can be friends. And you will also call me Wawa Brian. Anyway, today's video, I picked a couple topics. Today's topics. Number one, fancy rehabs. We've all seen these commercials, right? Get clean in luxury. There's like pelicans and cockatoos flying around. It's a good way to get clean, right? Number two, Methadone and Suboxone, or the Dome, you know. Anyway, these are dear old friends of ours. I've known them for a while. I bet you have too. Number three, 12-step programs. We're going to talk about 12-step programs. Are they good? Are they not? Before we get into that, I would just like to say, you guys are friggin' awesome. I appreciate all the love. I'm getting a lot of views on the channel. My subscribers, I'm catching like 5, 6 a day. This is pretty dope, I gotta tell you. And the comments, I'm getting comments from people all over the country, man. And I didn't even expect that, to be honest with you. And actually, there's some that ain't even from this country. They're across the ocean somewhere. You know what I mean? But anyway, I like the fact that you guys are liking the videos, commenting, hitting that subscribe button. I appreciate it all. And if you haven't done those things yet, I wish you would. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, real quick. So I've been doing these interviews with recovering addicts that you guys seen. And so far I've had all men. So this weekend, I am going to bring a strong woman in recovery onto the show. And I'm going to sit her down and I'm going to run those questions on her, man. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll be dropping that Sunday night. So let's get into this. Number one, fancy rehabs. Now we all remember a place, I don't know if it's around anymore. I think they changed their name. But there was a commercial running, it's some shit about Malibu. And there was a guy on there claiming that, he had been cured of the disease of addiction. I think they caught that guy drunk driving years later. Pretty sure about that. Not 100% sure. But anyway, the point is, that's a false claim. But they're running now. There's commercials running. Luxurious rehabs, they're giving you back rubs every 6 hours, right? They're going to get up all in your brain with all this great new technology. They got gourmet chefs. Like I said, they got cockatoos flying around you. There's probably Bob Marley playing 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them fool you. Oh, no. That's my man, Bob Marley. But, luxurious. Now, here's the thing. I'm all for that, man. Like, if you got the money and you can go enter a detox rehab that's doing all those finer things in life for you, that's cool, man. I'm all about that, man. Seriously. But the thing is this. Most of these fancy rehabs, they make claims that I don't think are true, right? See, the problem is they claim, most of them will take you right up into the point with their, they hire the best wordsmiths and they'll describe their location and what they do and all this fun stuff. And they'll get right up to the point where they say, and we'll cure you of your addiction, right? But here's the one claim they all make. And they claim that they will prevent your relapse. And for me, I find that impossible for anybody to make that claim, right? Now, here's my take on this. A detox and a rehab is good for one thing and one thing only. And that is for you to be taken off of your withdrawal comfortably. Maybe 5, 6 days, then you spend another 24 at a total of 30 days to get yourself together, right? That's what these places are good for. Because like all this stuff these fancy rehabs offer you, And they have rehabs and detoxes in the hood. And they all can do the same thing. Get you to stop withdrawing and get you on the other side so you're not physically dependent on the drug. They can all do that, man, right? Now, here's the thing with these places. I want to know, what happens when you leave? What happens when all these good things they're going to do for you? What happens when you're home and you're alone, right? Now, I'm sure they have some extracurricular stuff you can do once you get home that costs that bread. You're going to pay for that, right? Maybe your own personal recovery guy. You know what I mean? Comes to your house on Fridays and Wednesdays, man. And maybe he brings you takeout and goes over some therapeutic type of shit with you. I don't know. I'm sure they have that. But here's what they're missing. They're missing, dig this, every 12-step program, including mine, which is Narcotics Anonymous, we go by this thing here. That one addict helping another is without parallel. And that goes for any of them. One alcoholic helping another is without parallel. One dude on cocaine helping another is without parallel. One gambler helping another is without parallel. But the point is, what that means is there are no equals. Nothing runs in that same line as another addict helping another addict, right? Especially an addict who is on the other side, who's been clean for a while, who has some kind of spiritual principles in his life, who has dealt with life on life's terms for a while without the use of a mind or mood-altering substance. They lack that. They don't seem to understand that. The empathy we get in the rooms of a 12-step program. It's a wordless language, right? It's a wordless language of recognition, and they don't understand that. I look at it like this. If you ever met a couple who had their child kidnapped and tortured and killed, right? Snatched from out front of their house and killed, right? Let's say you're cool with people like that happened to. And you go up to them, that must be the most awkward shit ever. Like, what do you say to somebody like that, man? You know what I mean? All you could possibly say is something like this. I can only imagine what you're going through, right? And I'm sorry, my condolences, and things like that, right? But just remember, you can only imagine, right? You literally have to make yourself imagine that happening to you so you can put yourself in a place to where you can even try to offer them some kind of condolences. Be there for them, right? But dig this. That can only go so far with that couple. But now you put that same couple around other couples who have had the same thing happen. Other couples who've had their children taken and killed, right? And that's where the magic happens. That's where the empathy of that situation is created. And that's where healing can begin. No doctor, nobody, doesn't matter how much, your friends, family, doesn't matter how much you love them people and want to show them love in their time of fucking that's just the craziest shit ever for that to happen to somebody. But if you get them around other people that it's happened to, bro, healing can begin. And that's what happens in a 12-step program. And that's what these fancy ass places don't understand, right? The disease of addiction is incurable. Trust me on that. Believe that. At least for now. Until they come out with some kind of thing where we can get like brain transplants maybe or some shit like that. I don't know. But it's, until then, it is what it is. It's incurable. And for me, it needs to be treated. And treat it with fanciness probably isn't going to cut it. So anyway, that's enough about that. Let's go to number 2, Methadone and Suboxone. Now, at this point in the video, I'm sure there's a lot of y'all out there who think Brian's about to rip Methadone and Suboxone a new asshole. Well, I kind of am, but I kind of ain't. right? So here's the thing. Methadone and Suboxone are great drugs. They're great drugs when you first enter a detox. You're coming in, you're all, you're shaking, you're cold, you're hot, you know what I mean? You're shitting and throwing up at the same time. It's a horrible feeling. It's one of the reasons that a lot of us don't get clean when we wanted to get clean. See, for most of us, we wanted to stop using long before we actually stopped using. But the fear of that withdrawal is intense, bro. It is literally like torture, right? So these drugs are great drugs to take you off of that. And then it kind of, because once you have that physical addictiveness thing gone, right? You can kind of start to, get yourself back a little bit. Kind of, you pick yourself up and you dust it off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's good for. See, when I got clean, right, I remember a time when these drugs, methadone and Suboxone, they were used for just that, to comfortably take you off of your withdrawal so you can get to the other side, right? Something happened in this country. Something happened with the shift. I don't know what it is. Oh, yeah, I do. Money, bro. People wanted to get paid. And what happened was, it turned from something to take you off the drug to death prevention, right? I mean, this is literally treated as death prevention today, right? So you just imagine, you're a parent with a kid, and maybe they OD'd already and barely made it. And you got doctors and somebody else telling you that, like, this is a really good thing for your child to be on because you don't want them to die, do you? You don't want them to OD, right? I mean, that would be horrible. So, end to the addict. They come and they tell us all kinds of good shit about these drugs. I think this would be a good thing for you. Some of these places call it drug replacement therapy. Well, what I say is this. Is there a difference from calling it replace a drug with a drug therapy? I mean, same thing, right? But when you say it the way I just said it, doesn't sound too good. Sounds kind of crazy, right? So here's the thing. I've known some people, bro, that have got on these maintenance programs. And they've been on them for 10, 15, 20 years. Shit, some of them been on it for 20 years and they died on it, bro. Not that it killed them, but they literally just died. That's how long they were on it for, right? Now, here's the thing. I don't want to come off like I'm judging somebody on this. See, at the end of the day, this is your life and you need to live it accordingly. Let me just get that out of the way. This is just my view and my opinion of it, right? The problem with these is, put it this way, getting off of, let's say, heroin and then getting on a methadone maintenance program, that's kind of like you're in jail, right? And then the CO comes over and calls your name, yo, you're out of here, man. And you come up to the gate and they open the gate and they take you out and then they walk you about 20 feet into another cell. And you're like, what the fuck? I thought I was getting out of here. My bad. My background went out. Got it on my TV. But anyway, like I was saying, you're still susceptible to it, right? You're still like, you have to plan your life around this. You can't go on a trip. You can't just have a family event happen. Like, you're always worried about, where is my next dose? And that sucks, right? And I'll say this. Let me talk to the people that might be watching this that are on this. I know what you tell your parents, what you tell your husband and your wife and the doctors and all that, right? But you and me, we have this disease, right? Let's put those people out of it for a second. We know what's up, right? I can tell you this. I have come in contact with so many people on maintenance programs, Methadone and Suboxone, dude. And you know what, man? There's one or two things they always say. And one of them is either, I can't wait to get off of this, or I wish I never got on it, right? And that's the truth, man. But like I said, to each their own, and I just want you to know, you don't need it, but you can do it if you want, man. You know what I'm saying? Number 3, 12-step programs. Now, for me, I came out of detox and rehab, and I obviously went into a 12-step program. That's Narcotics Anonymous for me. There's plenty of really good 12-step programs, and I just wanted to break them down for you real quick. So you have Alcoholics Anonymous, right? Which that program was the originator program, right? And every other 12-step program was adapted from Alcoholics Anonymous. Basically, the thing that changed within all of them is basically their first step. So they admitted they were powerless over alcohol, and then you got Narcotics Anonymous. We admitted we were powerless over our addiction, and Cocaine Anonymous. We admitted we were powerless over cocaine, so on and so on and so on, right? So I just wanted to touch on the importance of a 12-step program. Obviously, I'm backing these things, right? Because if I got to be honest with you, for somebody with the disease of addiction, I don't know how else you could stay clean. In the long run, I don't know how else you could stay clean without that empathy from other people who've been what you've been through, like directly been what you've been through, right? And it might not be the same exact path, but everything else is similar. The self-centeredness, the manipulating, all that stuff, the cheating, the lying, all that stuff that we do to ourselves and to the people around us, right? And I just wanted to touch on this, that what a 12-step program is, right? So you come in, and I noticed a lot of people come in for the first time, and they're a little they're fearful, man. They don't know what's going to happen. Maybe they even tried to get clean a couple times already, and they're afraid, they're scared to death that they're just not going to be able to do it. And it's a very uncomfortable feeling and all that stuff. And the uncertainty, dude, is killer, right? So when I tend to see people like that come in, I try to be that guy to go up to them and, maybe give them a hug, start a little chit chat with them, and maybe even straight tell them like, yo, you feel like ass right now? Well, guess what, man? You don't ever have to feel that way again, right? So the power of a 12-step program is exactly that. It's the empathy. It's the therapeutic value of one addict helping another, right? And when you come into a 12-step program, you will seek out what they call a sponsor. Now, for me as a guy, your sponsor isn't your dad. He isn't, your brother. He isn't a guy you can borrow money from. He ain't none of that. This is a guy who has been what you've been through, and then he found a 12-step program, and he was able to find a sponsor and be guided through the steps and live life on life's terms without the use of drugs. And now he is ready to show you how to do it. And that's what it is. So you come in and you ask for a sponsor, or you ask somebody to sponsor you, I should say, right? And that's all it is. It's a guide through the steps. Now you can develop a great friendship with that sponsor. But what it is you need that person in your life to divulge shit to. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. We come in these rooms and we're able to unpack some shit, man. That shit that keeps us sick. Because that, in the end of the day, that's what it's about. We need to pull those secrets out and expose them to the light so they can die, man. So we can move on with our lives, right? But it's just one day at a time, man. One step at a time with people who aren't using and who have found a new way to live, right? And they all promise freedom from active addiction. You see what I'm saying? And I've gotten it. I've gotten freed from active addiction. I'm still wacky, bro. Your boy still does some crazy ass shit, but I don't use, bro, and I ain't used in 6 years, and it's all because of a 12-step program. So I highly endorse, even though some of these fancy rehabs, they're anti-12-step program. And I don't see how that could be. You know what I mean? But anyway, with that said, that's going to do it for me. Like I said, check out the channel Sunday. The video will upload. I got Shireen coming in here. Y'all will meet her right then. You know, I needed a woman on the show to show other women how to, you know, how it's done, man. In case somebody's out there struggling, I got my sisters out there, the females that need some strength and hope, and I'm going to bring it to you Sunday. And with that said, man, please like the video, comment on the video, and hit that subscribe button, right? And just remember, the disease of addiction is broad and outside of the realm of just using drugs. Keep coming back, and more will be revealed. I'm out of here, man.